Hello students, this is part 2 of my lecture on ethology. In the last lecture we studied about the introduction to ethology and we saw that there are four major experimental approaches: ethology, behavioral ecology, sociobiology and comparative psychology. Then we also studied about the origin of the word ethology, then how it shifted from nature to labs, who were the pioneers in the field of ethology, and what experiments they did. Konrad Lorenz, Nicholas Tinbergen, Carl von Frisch, these were the Nobel laureates. Today we'll see some branches which have erupted from ethology. Ethology is related to how animals communicate with each other. Animals compete and cooperate during feeding and mating. Animals forage and defend themselves when attacked. Animals migrate and live in different environments. Brain anatomy, how it affects the animal behavior. Animals learn and how do they remember. And the genes, how do they affect the behavior. Animals differ in their personality and the social structures. And the animal pair and reproduce. These all branches are related to ethology. So branches of ethology. Ethology encompasses many aspects of science. It combines both laboratory work and studying in the field. It has strong ties to ecology, evolutionary biology, and neuroanatomy. Ethologists will focus almost entirely on the way species behavior develop. An example of this would be the study in aggression of impalas and baboons. The baboons will kill and eat the baby impala, partially for the protein, but mostly due to aggression and asserting their dominance. Ethology has grown with the turn of century. Topics like animal communication, how their culture developed, how they learn, their emotions, and their reproductive natures are highlight of the modern ethology. The work recently have made almost all former information obsolete because scientists at the time thought they knew a great deal about these topics. From ethology, other sciences have sprouted like neuroethology, which is the study of evolution and adaptation on the nervous system. Ethology helps train animals in the way trainers want domesticated animals to act. So one main term which we read is behavioral ecology. Behavioral ecology emphasizes evolutionary hypothesis. Behavioral ecology is the study of behavioral interactions between individuals, within populations and communities, usually in an evolutionary context. It looks at how competition and cooperation between and within species affects evolutionary fitness. So based on the fact that animals will act in a way that will increase their Darwinian fitness. Now, what does fitness refer in Darwinian terms? The term fitness was used in Darwinian theory also and in the new theory also. But both the terms they differ when we see. Now see, behavioral ecology we have just read what it is. Now when we compare it with ethology, what's the difference? So in behavioral ecology, the study of how animals' behavior develop, evolve, and contributes to survival and reproductive success. So ethology is a narrow term that just studies behavior without the ecological part. So this is another branch of what is evolutionary fitness. We discussed evolutionary fitness measures how many viable, fertile offspring an individual or an allele leaves in the next and subsequent generation relative to others in the population. According to Darwin, female was the selecting agent. Female used to select the male having the most viable genes in the population. So the most viable genes, they are transferred to the next progeny. Adaptive behavior. Once organisms becomes alive after birth, this adaptive behavior is very important. So an adaptive behavior increases an individual evolutionary fitness relative to other individuals in the population. So two classification of behavior: adaptive advantage, the innate behaviors, and the learned behaviors. Automatic fixed building, no learning needed. Such behavior they are called as innate. So despite different environments, all individuals exhibit the same behavior. Like example as early survival, reproduction, kinesis, texas. You need not to teach them. They are inbuilt and they are shown by the organism. Learned behaviors, they are modified by experience. So they are variable and changeable, flexible with a complex and changing environment, and the organism learns during the lifetime. Another branch is sociobiology. It applies the principles of evolutionary biology to the study of social behavior of animals. It is based on compared methods and on the field of observation. It examines the similarities in social systems and different groups, seeing what patterns of behavior emerge. Wilson gives him maturity, and the most significant work of sociobiology was done by Travers. Comparative psychology. Now, this is a very important field of which is related to ethology, because comparative psychology is the study of animals in order to find about human beings. So the underlying assumption is that to some degree the laws of behavior are the same for all species, and that therefore knowledge gained by studying rats, dogs, cats and other animals can be generalized to human beings. There is a long history of experimentation on animals, and many new drugs and cosmetics were first tested on non-humans to see what their effects were. If there were no obvious harmful side effects, then human trials would often follow. Thank you.